public hearing on the 2013 tax rate. So we have a microphone up here if you want to speak this time. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Robert Tudmeyer. I'm a local businessman and property owner. I couldn't make it to the other part of the meetings and stuff, but anyways, I understand we do have a budget problem here in the county, and I can definitely appreciate that. But you know, one of the things I've seen over the years is money is typically a band-aid. It's not a solution. And you know, if I look at what the proposed tax increase is, my math is right. It's a little around the point about 9% increase if I do the math right.
I'm Christine Turpin from Lorena, Texas. I actually own 2 properties here, 2 homes, one in Lorena and one in Moody. And to kind of frame what we're doing here tonight. To change the wording from you to we, because it's we the taxpayers, but we have a right to know who is taxing us and for what purpose. Our hard-earned dollars deserve the light of day down to every penny. Indebtedness, and of course McLennan County is one of the worst debt counties in the state of Texas, which is frankly disgraceful. In my opinion, looking at it, I think there's been a lot of mismanagement or things, and we're hitting the bubble here as far as that goes. We have a right to
Excuse
expect
me just a minute. Suzanne, would you turn this microphone that way and see if that popping stops? Or
We have a right to expect that government obligations are funded transparently and that government finances are made. Also, to kind of frame this up, I've already mentioned that we have one of the worst debts. My personal appraisal, and I decided to use myself as a perfect example as a McLennan County taxpayer. Now, of course, you're not responsible for the appraisal that took place, but I'm a good example. I got hit this year with a $7,144 increase. Last night, my city decided to increase our taxes by 5.2%, so I've got that hitting me. Of course, we've had school elections recently. They all passed. I'm getting hit with that one. And now it looks like the county's going to hit me. Here's the stunner, and when I tell people this, they nearly fall on the floor. Currently, my principal and interest on my house, which I just refinanced at a great rate, I have a wonderful rate, is $584.11. By the time all of the taxing entities plus my insurance, after everything comes in, my taxes and insurance is higher than the principal and interest on my house.
And I know that it's hard to make the cuts, but insolvency is worse. And I also know that the county employees are just citizens and they don't want any pay reductions, but I have to wonder, have you made it clear to them that the retirement isn't funded? Wouldn't they prefer to have a little bit of a cut now and a retirement than to suddenly they retire and they don't get any money? I don't think that's fair to the county employees. I looked at some of the other counties in the area, some of them bigger than us, some of them smaller than us. I looked at their total budget and I looked at their population. In McLennan County, every citizen has to pay over $500 a year to fund the county relations. Smith County, it was the one that I found that had the closest population to ours. They pay about $200 less per citizen to fund the county. And I keep hearing all the time, the jail, the sheriff, the DA, but you're the guys that are in charge of the money. The spending cuts have to happen. The tax increase would be far less offensive if there were actually some significant spending cuts.
Good evening. I'm Michael Simon, resident of Waco. Wanted to ask y'all a question. If y'all knew, and I assume we do because we've got a nearly retired banker, tried to one time and then got sucked into this, and financial advisor and insurance guy over here on the court. What grows an economy? What grows a local economy, a state economy, a national economy? It's money in people's pockets, so that they can go out and fuel small businesses, fuel big businesses, corporations that are brought in here locally. In the last census period, McLennan County grew at about 9.3%. That is about 17% less than the state of Texas grew. The fastest growing area in the state of Texas is what they call the Golden Triangle. It's an area between Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio, and Houston. We're right in the dead center of that. Compare our tax rates to local counties. Go up north to Hill County, go down south to Bell County. Bell County grew at about 35% in that same time period. There are neighbors to the south. All the economic growth going to Temple. It's going along I-35 between Temple and Belton. Why is it not coming here? Their tax rates are substantially less than ours. The second portion is the jail. We noted, read in the paper on Sunday, shortly before the jail opened, our annual expense in housing, feed, and care of prisoners was $709,000. This year it's going to top $6 million.
Back to taxes. I was at the meeting where they were talking about the Medicaid, Medicare expansion into the county. I guess it's the county's doctor that was there, the public health doctor. And he made a comment about finding how they were going to pay for this, that the county would have to find new revenue streams, I believe he said. And my father once told me that there are no such thing as new sources of revenue. The government has no new sources of revenue. They all go back to the taxpayer.
Hi, y'all know, probably already know me. I'm Toby Walker. I'm the president of the Waco Tea Party and live out in China Spring. I don't know why I'm doing this again this year, because we've been doing this for 4 years and it goes on deaf ears. You don't cut budgets, and that's what your problem is. At the end of the day, you're overspending. How do we know this? Because we have gone back every year to 2000, 2001, 2003, and have done a 10-year trend line. In the 10-year trend line, year after year after year, and if you go back, it's on all kinds of different websites, including the comptrollers, you spend 5 to 6% more every year. You're taxing 4 to 5%, sometimes higher, sometimes lower, every year. Where's this money going? You're spending it. You're spending hard-working citizens' money of this county year after year after year without cutting budgets. The budget expenditures grow more over a 10-year period than what you're bringing in. It's insanity. At what point are you going to cut it? When you're all unelected?